I don't know why I just feel like I need to come up with some hand gestures. Anywho, we have a stellium, a triple conjunction rarity of the sun, the moon. I'm sorry, the sun, the moon, the stars. We have a conjunction between sun, Suna, rising right now on the eastern horizon on this 15th day of January in Capricorn, on the 15th degree of Capricorn, on the 6th day of January. We have Venus, Mars, the sun, all conjunct. That is a thing. It's a rarity. I'd like to see when the last time that actually occurred. I should have done that before I started the stream. Well, Venus, our desire. Mars, our passion. Sun, our consciousness. Together, those three characters in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, structure, limitations, material building. You know what we want to do? We want to go see what is Capricorn's ruler, Saturn, doing. Saturn is finishing up its final degrees in the sign of Pisces, the very last sign of the zodiac. And it'll cross over into Aries from the last to the first, together with the planet Neptune. You know, I saw an esoteric post, and it described Neptune as aesthetics. Hello and welcome to this live chat. We're talking about this conjunction of Venus, Mars, and the Sun in Capricorn. So we're gonna want to see. So that's the characters in the environment. The place being Capricornian type stuff. The characters: Venus, our desire; Mars, passion; the Sun, our consciousness. Very overly simplified, but for the sake of moving forward, we're going to want to see what's the ruler of Capricorn doing. He is finishing up the last degrees of Pisces. I say he, but actually when Saturn's in a feminine side, whenever a planet's in a sign, it takes on the characteristics of that sign. And every planet has a masculine and a feminine, an inner and an outer. The sun's referred to as masculine. Suna is the goddess of the sun. Soul, masculine. The moon comes from Mana, which is a Proto-Indo-European god which is a man. Anywho, we have Saturn moving through the last degrees of Pisces. Pisces is the end. The end degrees is the end of the end. Saturn, serious. It's what needs to be taken seriously. And Pisces is about the opposite of that. It's the dream world. So Saturn, as he's leaving a place where he actually is his ancient joy is in Pisces. Why? Because as Saturn is the furthest out planet, the end, so is Pisces the end of the zodiac. So therefore it makes sense for Saturn to be, its ancient joy is actually there. Now, finishing up in Pisces is Neptune, the current day ruler, which is mysticism and or illusion. And what's Saturn's reality. So that's why we have this whole thing about not being able to tell what's real, what's not. The whole AI thing is very astrological, about discerning reality from our dream world. Now, that's not to say that we just plunge fully into the material realm and divorce ourselves from the spiritual, our connection with divinity source. So we want to Saturn when you think of Saturn in Pisces, you could think of it as bringing structure to our dreams, and perhaps that is a wild wave to surf through the world of Pisces with Neptune in it. That's very tough to discern truth, fact from fiction. So we have to rely on our intuition more in the world of Pisces and just kind of surrender to the unknown, to the abyss, to the void. And then if we survive that, we come out of it and we're able to build with that experience that we gain from that, which is why Jupiter's really the ruler of its domicile is in Pisces, because Jupiter is all about experience. Its number is 3. 3 is, you have the Father, the Son, but then the child of that is the 3, which is the experience. If you just have a 1, there's no experience there. And then you have 2, now you have an opportunity for a relationship to happen. 3 is that relationship happening, which is why we have the 3 in 1 Trinitarian 3 is 1 type thing going on. Because in a sense, you do need 3 to have a 1, which is an experience. Everything that in existence is made up of 3. And usually it's going to be about the elements of fire, air, and water or earth. Now, it's time. It's almost like the party's over. It's time to wake up from the dream. I know. Because when Saturn moves into Aries, that's when we're on the front line in the battlefield. So now we're waking up, we're wiping the sleep from our eyes, and then we're like, okay, it's time to get to work now. And that happens to coincide so well with the new year starting. Hey, I'm asking a question. Double price, sell it. My favorite planet is Earth. It's the only one with pizza. Nazi hat for sale. The Black Sun. The word Nazi is stupid. So words have been so weaponized. That is a very Piscean, dreamy, delusional way. And so Saturn, what it does, it makes structures in the dreams, which is what we do with words. The actual word itself with the letters is Saturn. But then what it's pulling from the world of the formless, that world is Pisces. Ideas, feelings, the collective unconscious is Pisces. The collective conscious, Aquarius, which is the age that we're stepping into. Yeah, so what I do is, what I'm into is called esoteric Aryanism. And the word Aryan has been taken by the powers that be to be an evil thing because the Third Reich in Germany took it, um, used it in reference to white people. My main thing that I'm here to do is to reach out to, first and foremost, the Aryan white race. That's who my concern is. That's who's under attack. That's my people. And then if other people of other races want to, I recommend what you do is get out of the Abrahamic psyop. Get in touch with your own ancestral ways of doing spirituality and community and resurrect that. Coming up with alternative ways to do spirituality outside of the Abrahamic Judeo matrix is what we have to do. And also, as a white person, it's pretty much obvious that whiteness is under attack. Its very existence. And so my mission, my goal is to come up with a way for white people really to get together and do religion outside of Abrahamism. Because religion, what it does, it's a binding element. That's why Judaism has been so successful, because it's an ethno-religion. What Christianity did, it came in and it tore that apart. And then so a bunch of people turn on their own ancestral traditions and call it demonic, and then have no sense of roots or identity. You've adopted some other one, a foreign God, Yahweh. Yeah. And I got this, see what I did? I took the outer band off of it. The black sun is it's a deep thing. It's 12 spokes for the 12 zodiac signs. The 12 knights of the round table. Arthurian lore and the Grail lore. Esoteric stuff. Those aren't real people. King Arthur is not a real person. Arthur it shares the same etymology with Arcturus. Star up in the northern sky that sits over the zodiac, the ecliptic, the 12 signs of the zodiac. And then for after every sign is a sigrun, which means victory, or Soel, which is the sun, the victorious sun, which is each of the signs is a labor, a trial, the 12 labors of Hercules, 12 pillars of Samson that need to be conquered, won. So life is like a school. It's a trial. We're here to build a soul and fill that soul up with spirit so that we can ascend out of this bitch. And how do we ascend out of it? By going into it. The moon is a monster that could keep us stuck here and just reincarnating all the time, having to learn the same lesson over again. But there's only so many incarnations. In Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, they believe, and I think Hinduism, 109 incarnations that we have, that we're allowed. And then after that, just off to oblivion. There are some traditions teach that not everybody even has a soul, that we have to we're here to build a soul. And you know how some traditions, namely Samuel on War, this South American, Latin American guy who was hip to theosophy, and also the Martinists, and the Croix, the red, the Rose Cross. These are all occult secret societies, really, and they have this esoteric wisdom. Some of it's BS, but some of it seems to be true. It resonates. It seems to be perennial. It goes back to one source, which I would argue is the Aryan race, the Proto-Indo-Europeans, who started off from where we could tell near the Caucasus Mountains, like the Pontic Steppe, from where we get Caucasian from. Caucasian, Asian, because it's in Central Asia. And then we came from there, civilized North India, put in place a structure called the caste system, and what recorded that was the Vedic scriptures, which is what Hinduism is built off of. And then we have a migration to the West, where we have evidence of their religion from the Avesta, the Zoroastrian religion. Persians, when we think of Persians now today, we think of a bunch of Arab-looking people. Originally, the Magi were white Europeaners. Oh, this might sound like, you've gone racist. I'm not racist, and what I'm doing here isn't about hating other races. Not even the Jews. I know, that's a tough one. What it is about is really loving those who are persecuted, and like your own yourself, health, and we have such guilt being pushed on us that people don't even want to identify as white. Whiteness isn't even a thing until you can criticize it. And some people are like, oh, well, who cares if the white race goes out of existence? Why even? We're all one family. You know, Savitri Devi is somebody who I admire. What a bold, courageous person. Originally born Maximinia Portas, a French-Greek woman who led liberation movements in India because she was looking for the Aryan roots. How beautiful is that? Why did I just bring her up? Oh my God. My adoration. Well, what one thing she did teach that I bring into esoteric Aryanism. That's what it is. What I'm doing here is called esoteric Aryanism. Let me read. At least sell the hat. You know, I have a whole bunch of gear and apparel that I used to design stuff for churches when I worked for the Catholic Church. And all the stuff that I've picked up in the past, I'm going to dump it into the North Star Temple, North Star Esoteric. And what it is, it's really about esoteric Aryanism, which has to do with the origins of the European peoples. That includes the Norse mythology, Celtic mythology, Aryan mythology, Atlantean type stuff, Agartha, the North Star, the planet Venus, the Green Ray, Miguel Serrano's work. And what were they? National Socialists? What? They wanted to protect white people from getting wiped out. The more I looked into history, the more I'm like, oh my goodness. The bad guys are the good guys, and the good guys are the bad guys, really, to break it down that simply. I mean, it's more nuanced than that, of course, but it's a little bit like that. So I'm gonna start Khazarian history. Yes, see, that's the whole thing. Okay, they're not the real Jews, the real people of the Bible. No, it's. I don't go off onto that. I think that's really created to take us off of the path. You know, that reminds me of lots of Christians, like, oh, well, that's not real Christians. Or even the Christians who try to say that Jesus was an Aryan Chad. Those are not, those, and that's I don't know if it's a growing population, but on X I come across them all the time. I'm gonna have to start a Rumble channel and pay attention to it and post on there, because I know I'll probably get banned off of YouTube pretty quickly. Be careful, I'm not. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to start here on YouTube. We'll see how long I last. It's amazing. Just look at the symbols, the words, the hand gestures that are banned. And look at the stuff that's not banned, rather promoted. Why is it that the Black Sun logo, the Schwarz Sonnengrad, a symbol of the white Proto-Indo-European peoples, is the most dangerous and banned, along with the swastika, which is the oldest symbol of the Aryan white race. White people, we are under attack. And what, black people, Hispanic people, so are you. And lots of black people, Hispanic people have been weaponized to hate white people. You could say one word, an N-word, and it's okay to somebody gets shot in the face, a white guy. And they're like, oh, well, he's called him the N-word. Like, oh, well, I guess he deserved it then. What a fucking bunch of shit. I have clothing coming out. I have stickers, graphics. I've put on my guerrilla marketing campaign, websites, and I have to try to take some time to set up security, because there's 2 or 3 white dating sites, like the Jewish people have J-Date or whatever, black Nubian dating sites. Somebody tried to start a white dating site, and then somebody in Germany, I'm sure they were a German, is a hacker and hacks in and gets all the information, shares all the information of the people signed up on the thing, and the headline in the news reads, "Neo-Nazi dating site exposed by heroic hacker." We have so many self-hating white people, mostly from the left. They're even the saddest. To hear a German person talk about Germany back in the 30s, the average one, they've been so brain effed. Germany is right behind America. The number is right up there of whose money was used to build the state of Israel. Oh my goodness. And to listen to the real history about what happened to the German people post World War II, dude, that's enough to make you so black-pilled. Is it controversial to say that you know who was the real victims of World War II? Germany. And there's a way to look at that right now. Just look at the state of the German people, who are the villains of the world, and look at the state of the Jewish people, who's doing better in this world. If they catch you with a swastika in Germany, or if you put up like your hand, a Roman salute, a year in jail. The same with Canada. Most European countries, if you downplay certain historical events, and you have a different narrative. Yeah, so we're going to get controversial here. 3 people watching, 2 thumbs up. And we talk about astrology and numerology in the esoteric world, but also current events and stuff. So my other channel, which used to be Weight Movement, is going to be called Vril Vision. What a cool name. And then on this one, it's esoteric, North Star Esoteric, which is going to be the internet home for the North Star Temple, because we need to have physical things. We need to have religious ceremony, rites, and rituals to unite and strengthen and feed the white race. I'm sorry if that sounds racist, but I just don't like what I see is happening to specifically white people. Now, what if you're like a mixed person and you want to be involved in what's going on? Sure, you're invited to. At like a certain level. We promote for their survival of the white race to actually not mix outside of your race. Perhaps in some world where our race wasn't under attack, that might be looked at differently. But for what it is right now, we just can't. I mean, if somebody happens to be of that, they're loved and whatnot, but we could love them without having to promote the mixing of races. I mean, it sounds so racist for a white person to say that, but it's part of Judaism, which has been a part of their strength, has been the marriage between race and religion, and ethno-religion. It doesn't mean we hate other races. It just means we're recognizing what we are. And even celebrating it. So today, as we have Venus and Mars and the Sun together, it's like bringing together harmony out of conflict. It could be like a battle of the sexes at the workplace. But then it could be a coming together of those two forces in a fruitive way, bringing harmony towards our desires and our passions. Our desires and our passions about working up the ladder of success can be more in the conscious. We could be more conscious of our desires and our passions towards our goals in life. And it's a good time to work on it, or it's a good time for the sun to be shown on that. Capricorn is a trial, like all of the signs are trials, tests, even lessons. The very 12th letter of the alphabet is Lamed, L, which is 12, which is the zodiac, which means like learn, a lesson, a leader. Again, we seem to be here to try to progress, evolve, not just physically. We see that that's happening. But we want to have a conscious evolution going along with that, not in the opposite direction, a devolution. Poor Savitri Devi, they talk about the Kali Yuga. We're in the Kali Yuga, which is like Pisces extended for a long point of time. Just sleep, dreaming, delusional, suffering, loss. 12th house is very difficult. Which is kind of fucked up because it's the last house. But we get through that trial through faith, ultimately. That's what Pisces, that lesson is ultimately about faith, which is why there's a surrender often that can happen just to, that faith can go wrong, but you know what? Faith heals. You could believe in the spaghetti monster, and you have ultimate faith in that. It takes over the mind, and then it goes to the body with a different message, which you have. But there's people who can have born again experiences through worship and devotion to the spaghetti monster god. It's more of a utilitarian type thing than the actuality of it. It's like our mind makes our reality. It's using that. That's what magic really is. It's acknowledging that our mind makes our reality. And so it's really just working with that. Now, if we have, working with it means knowing our environment and then how to use it. And part of our environment is the sun, fucking obviously, the moon, the planets. And people are like, well, they're so far away. How could something so far away have an effect on us? Well, the sun's pretty fucking far away. Surely it has an effect on us. The moon, with the tides and whatnot, and how we're mostly made of water. But if you actually take a look at the map, like our galaxy and shit, those planets are very close to us, actually. Some thoughts of the day. All right, I'm losing my voice. I love you all very much. We're doing this thing. I get a chance to teach about the ceremonies and the rituals that I'm putting together for North Star Temple. Creating religion's fun. And I invite people to get on board. We're going to create communities, activities, dances, balls, charity drives, car washes. And the news is not going to be happy. Well, we're going to have to all hide our faces and shit. Fuck that. We could say, hey, they're going to call us neo-Nazis. I know it. Fuck them. That word's losing its fucking power. And I'm not going to be a coward because I'm afraid of name callings. Well, what? They'll keep you from getting a job. They can shut down your bank accounts. They can jail you in many countries. When is that going to come here? Well, it's not here yet. So, fuck it. YOLO. All right, I love y'all very much.